Just days before European Uprising, Sha Samuels' final partner is announced, and his choice throws everybody off guard, including FWA management. Alex Shane returns to work and shockingly announces his involvement in the main event between Martin Stone and Leeroy Kincaide. And serious issues caused the first ever British Wrestling Hall of Fame to be changed, but in turn lead to World of Sport legends Johnny Saint and Steve Gray making their FWA in-ring debut. Hello, I'm Len Davies and welcome to Frontline. Just days before the most important show in its 11-year history at the world-famous Birmingham NEC, things are really hotting up in the FWA.
We saw this at the Art of War. This is one of the most dangerous...
Yeah, you're right, and you know why, because they want to administer more punishment.
Man, the referees are smiling though. It's almost like, I mean, that was the move that took Terry Frazier completely out. Well, so now...
Last week we announced that Sha Samuels would attempt to avenge the injury sustained by his cartel tag team partner Terry Frazier, as well as the vicious beatdown he received at the London Expo with a 6-man tag team challenge at European Uprising. BWC rookie Nick Riley had already confirmed his support for Samuels and agreed to be the first partner, but this week things took a shocking turn.
The Broxbourne Civic Hall. Oh my goodness.
He's fighting
this
back.
Kid's insane. He's absolutely off his trolley.
Bubblegum's up high. And Bubblegum, oh wait a second. Crossbody. Oh yes.
No. That's a 2.
Gentlemen,
that's a 2. Morales kicked out.
Viewers will remember that Bubblegum beat 2 Agenda members, Dave Morales and Joel Redman, in the FWA World Title Tournament in 2 of the biggest upsets in FWA history. Morales was so angered with the loss that he struck referee Tommy Stevens, which led to a 6-month suspension from the company. But at Battle Lines, just hours before the Agenda would reveal themselves to the world, Morales would return and seriously injure Bubblegum.
Morales, that's 350 pounds, 20 stone or so, hard on top of Bubblegum. That's an injured abdominal.
This looked as though it had ended the popular flyweight's career, but now this appears not to be the case, as Sha Samuels has confirmed that his final tag team partner for the 6-man Agenda versus Resistance war will be none other than Bubblegum himself. We have no word from either side at the moment, as all those involved are playing their cards very close to their chests going into this huge contest, but we'll bring our full report on next week's special end-of-season Frontline.
Well, our timekeeper continuing to ring the bell. Shane is bleeding from the forehead.
Come on, it's yours! Take it!
Yeah, Tony Sims was right, this is enough. Damn right it's enough.
FWA Head of Content Alex Shane returned to full-time work this week after a 2-week recovery from the vicious beatdown he received at the hands of the Agenda at the London Expo. Shane conducted a sit-down interview with Dave Bradshaw to discuss the assault, and in it announced his decision to be a special guest referee in the main event between Martin Stone and Leeroy Kincaide.
As a result of what happened at the Expo, you've got an announcement directly as a consequence of what happened there regarding the main event of European Uprising. What is it you want to tell us today?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've... Again, there's so many things that we can't sort of say here, and I'm really walking between 2 worlds with this interview. But yeah, we've had some issues with members of the Agenda, legitimate issues with the Agenda, and I've decided to make myself the special guest referee for that match. I would like to be there in the ring as that happens. I found out firsthand just how things can go awry. Also, Leeroy Kincaide is a threat to the wrestling establishment. The guy has got some interesting stories to tell, which he's going to tell very shortly about his experiences with the biggest wrestling company in the world. And he is a real-life John Cena. So, you know, this match has been built up, and we're in a situation where we just want to make sure that somebody's got his back, all the guys have got his back, and this is, you know, this storyline, as people call it, is far more real than the people at home realise.
This is considered to be a huge blow for the agenda, who have a history of striking or intimidating referees and cheating in matches in order to keep the FWA World Heavyweight title around the waist of Stone. It should also be noted that there is history between the three men, as Kincaide and Stone were security for Alex Shane for a number of years in the old incarnation of the promotion. In the past 6 months, however, tensions between Stone and Shane have built to fever pitch, beginning with Alex Shane's last-minute involvement in the Art of War 8-man tag team main event. Then becoming more personal with their war of words at Hope and Glory. And finally culminating in a brutal assault that left Shane hospitalised on Halloween weekend. Yet despite this, Shane seems to have kept a clear head in the lead up to this history-making match. He has likened the main event to the battle between Flash Barker and Jody Fleisch from British Uprising 1, as you can see in extracts from his recent interview.
How do you see things panning out? What do you think will be the closing memory at the Memorabilia Expo next Saturday?
I think a chapter of British wrestling history is going to be written on that day, and I think it's going to be something that's going to last forever. I do believe that the end of season 1, just like the iconic moment where Jody Fleisch climbed to the top of the ladder, being told by the old school that he was never going to be a heavyweight. You know, Andre Baker told me Jody Fleisch won't be a wrestler as long as there's a hole in his arse. That's what he told me. And, you know, to watch him climb to the top and grab that in East London, York Hall, Bethnal Green, where he was from, it was an iconic moment in British wrestling history. You know, there's a lot of iconic moments that become more relevant to a new generation. Like, a lot of people didn't see the original ECW stuff. I did. But then when that Rise and Fall DVD came out, thank you, Vince, for that. It's well appreciated. When that Rise and Fall DVD came out, a whole new generation got to see the genius of that booking and that wrestling. So I know that the Jody Fleisch incident is the same. It seems so ironic that both Leeroy and Martin were at ringside for that match, that Martin was inspired by Flash Barker, and now you've got Leeroy, and they are taking on each other in the new Uprising, and they're fighting for that belt. And it's just, you know, sometimes people say to me about time being linear, you know, whether or not time actually, there is a past, a present and a future, or whether Einstein was correct and it's all happening at once. And when you think about a situation like that, you know, how these guys' paths, they were on opposite ends of the guardrail, you know, one was at ringside, one was in the crowd, and they became my security, and now they're, you know, their main event in it, like Battle Lines was the 7-year anniversary of the exact 7-year anniversary of the first time our guys wrestled each other, you know, and it's so strange. So I think that what happens at the end of that show is going to be something that changes wrestling forever as far as British wrestling goes. I believe that people will look back at that iconic moment and think, man, this is something that's different and big, and I believe that it is the right thing. Leeroy Kincaide needs to be seen as the John Cena of Great Britain, but really by the time we're finished, John Cena will be seen as the Leeroy Kincaide of the United States, and that's really what I believe.
Don't forget that you can see European Uprising this Saturday as part of the Memorabilia weekend at the Birmingham NEC.
This is the resistance, and we need your help.